Who? Tom? Okay.
See if we have a while. Somebody's going to try to find it. You know, find a list.
Yeah, that's all.
Welcome into another edition of McCready and Siskey, live from Mobile, Alabama, University of South Alabama Stadium, just behind Tyler's not so beautiful head right over there. Tyler's enjoying a rain, powered by rain, total body fuel. I'm Neil McCready, that's Tyler Siskey. We are sort of on the fly here a little bit, so hopefully this is, hopefully you guys can hear. I don't have the YouTube up in front of me, so
I got it.
I don't have the stream. I guess I should have done that. That would have made sense, huh?
I got it.
I'll get it here.
I just messed with my camera too, so I'll probably screw that up. Different camera. I'm dark back here, man. You got me in the light show.
So they tell me to pull the mic closer. I don't even think I'm on the mic though. I think I'm on this.
So yeah, the only way with the mic is I would think that if you, the only way to get it you coming through this one and not your laptop would be to go to the mic and go to the MacBook instead of the OSC.
And then they can't hear.
And then they won't hear him.
Okay, gotcha. So we're just going to do the best we can here. We are
on the road.
We're on the road, and we realized we're a mixer short, and so we're going to have that fixed. We're going to learn a little bit today. Yeah, Tyler's going to sound better because I'm talking into the computer here, so it's just one of those things.
It's a road game, you know. We got to get ready for the road games, big road games, hostile environment. I don't have headphones on. That's throwing me off. I don't know if I've ever done a podcast without headphones. So if I start sounding distorted, just let me know.
Okay, yeah. It's going to sound distant because there's not, it just is what it is. I'm pulling up the, where I can do an audio file.
Reb Grizz says, just come sit on my lap. Backdoor McCready.
I'm just setting up a file real quick and we'll do the best we can here.
It's a road game, you know. What are you doing over there, Cole? You just holding the world together there?
I was trying to read the chat on Neil's computer.
Oh, gotcha.
What is today? 18th?
Today is the 20th, all day long.
All right, well, for better or worse,
here we go. Let's ride.
Welcome into another edition of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neil McCready. That is Tyler Siskey. We are in Mobile, Alabama. So the reason the audio is going to be a little funky, I'm a little worried about it, but it's going to be what it is. Try to put this up in podcast form. I'm a little worried that there's not going to be enough audio to make podcast form work.
We'll figure it out.
We'll say it again.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, just not getting much audio at all.
It's coming through the receiver, but.
Can y'all hear me fine in the chat? Somebody said I could. Earlier they said they could hear me fine. We'll let them catch up.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
We'll figure it out.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Switch mic, go back to Ethan,
Okay.
and we'll just have the chat let us know if this is.
Yeah, we're going to try one more thing here. Let's see.
Go mic and hit external or MacBook Pro, either one of those.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to talk. I'm talking now, and they probably can hear me better now.
I'm sure
I'm
they
guessing.
can.
And now let's see if they can hear Tyler at all.
They said Siskey is great. They said it in the chat. Tyler is good.
All right, back to the chat.
That's what I'm in the chat.
Yes, sir. So, I say we ride with it
Okay.
like this as long as we can until people are saying in the chat.
Hey, if it's the sound starting to look, we're gonna be a little off, but if the sound gets bad where you can't.
Oh, everybody's saying much better, so we might be okay.
I think we might have had it the whole
it's
time. We
great now.
overthought it.
Okay.
Great now. Let's do it.
All right, let's go. All right, so welcome into the show. If you're listening now, you kind of know what's going on. We're in Mobile. Tyler came down yesterday. He and Cole here came down yesterday.
Now they can't hear me.
Yeah, that's
why I
what
just
we
got a text.
thought.
Yeah,
that's what we thought.
the issue we're running into. We'll have to go back to.
I'll go back to the way it was. The only way they can hear me clear is if I go to Mike.
Yeah.
And then they can't hear him at
they
all.
don't
So
hear
we're
me
going
at
to
all.
go back
So
to
we'll
the
have
other
do
way.
the half
Right.
50-50.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So hang tight. Get to that. And there it is.
So we'll do it. All right, we're learning a little bit. The road to Boise is complete with a pothole, but we know the fix to it. So we couldn't get that mixer today. We'll order it. We'll have it in time for next week. We'll probably start experimenting. We're going to do some live shows. People at Walk-Ons don't know this, but we're going to do a couple of shows at Walk-Ons.
Okay.
Because we're going to have to make sure that we have some of these things kind of worked out a little bit. I'm going to get as close as I can to mine. I think physically that will help a little bit. So anyway.
The road to Boise is now the road to Hancock Whitney today.
The road to Hancock Whitney, and but nobody's losing anything. We're brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more. Tyler, how are you?
Man, I'm great. I didn't sleep worth a shit last night though.
Why's that?
Hotel's great, by the way, but I
It
felt
is
like
a nice hotel.
I had a herd of elephants above my room that were rolling to about 2 o'clock in the morning. They decided to go back at it this morning at about 5 o'clock, so it was a rough night of sleep. But I'm rolling. Got my.
So we're running around. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know what the hell they were doing. I don't know if they were running around or rolling around, but they were making a hell of a lot of noise, one way or the other.
That's good.
Practicing their.
Elephants need love too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're practicing their backdoor McCready skills, I guess, last night.
It's a totally unnecessary thing to say. I mean,
Hey, look.
I'm not sure what's in your rain.
Hey, this is the new rain today.
Yeah.
You like this?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Where's your rain at, by the way?
I've been unable to. Cole and I have spent the last hour trying to fix the audio.
To give y'all a little background of what's been going on is my man Neil got here. I guess he got here about lunch today. Yeah, about lunch. We got over to the facility about 1 o'clock today, and Neil and Cole have been trying to figure out the computers while I sat here, ate a hamburger, and started drinking my rain. So that's about how this last hour's going.
Yeah, that's about right.
We're good.
We're generally okay.
We're good.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Mike's picking up fine.
Okay. All right. So where do you want to start?
Well, hey, let's start at the why are we here, Neil? Why are we here?
Got a big game in it's 4 hours, a little over 4 hours. Troy, South Alabama. A couple of guys that we're both familiar with. You know John Summerall at Troy a lot better than I do. I know John some. I covered him a little bit those years that he was on Matt Luke's staff. I go a lot further back with Kane.
Yeah.
Kane, as a young guy getting started, I knew his dad a lot better than I knew Kane. Dave Womack, the longtime defensive coordinator in a bunch of places.
Long time. Arkansas, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. When he was at Ole Miss, I've told you this for a long time, not just because we're sitting in an office right down the hall from his son. Dave Womack, forget the football coach for a minute, one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Dave and I.
He has one horrific quality. And other than that, he's a really solid guy.
He's a Cardinals.
He's a big Cardinal fan, and it took us a minute, beat writer, coach, to kind of get past that a little bit. Because early in the tenure, the Cardinals were a lot better than the Cubs, and then by the end there in 2016, obviously the Cubs were winning, and I think Dave had a difficult time sort of accepting that there was a change happening there, and the dynamic of our trash talk was going to change.
Yeah.
But I always really liked Dave, the guy, and then of course I got to know Kane a little bit when he was just kind of getting started in his coaching career, because I guess he left Ole Miss to go to South Alabama.
No, so where did he go? So
Did he?
He went to Eastern Illinois. So
Okay.
he went to Eastern Illinois, and then
That's right. He went to Eastern with former DB coach at Ole Miss who went to Eastern.
Yeah.
He was on Houston staff.
got me on that one.
I'm sure someone in the
So Kane and I go back to further. So obviously, I started working with his dad. I was a receivers coach. His dad was the coordinator when Hugh got the head job at Arkansas State. And so obviously, I did not know Dave before that. And then Kane at that time, I believe, was, Kane at that time was the UT Martin.
I mean, the only other thing we could do is we could move him here and we could turn it, but I don't know how to do all that.
If we wanted to, we could turn that camera, flip it to him.
Can y'all still hear me fine?
Into the same mic, but without the mic. Without the mic.
What's changed in the last 10 minutes?
It's
It's
fine.
It's
We're
fine. It's
trying
just
to
not.
improve
It's not particularly good audio.
Yeah,
That's
we can do that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, the people.
We're playing with a backup
If you're
quarterback.
going to get in the chat and tell us that the audio is bad, please accept this the right way. I mean this respectfully. No shit. We get it. We
I'm rubbing off on him.
believe me, we get it. So it's just
Yeah.
kind of one of those things. We know we're a mixer short. We can't get the mixer, so it's all good.
Yeah, so-
if you're going to come in the thread and tell us that the audio is bad, we get it.
Hey, can we assign an enforcer so when somebody comes in later and bitches about the chat, they just shut them up right away? Can we do that?
Yeah. So anyway, we
Hey,
continue on. We were talking about
Tim, you're gonna be the enforcer.
we were
All
talking about Dave. Womack.
Yeah, so Dave worked with Dave at Arkansas State for a year, and that's when I met Kane. Then I left to go from there, went on about our way, and then we had an opening. I came here after my first year. We had an opening for defensive coordinator, and I thought Kane had a lot of respect in the world for Kane. He came with us. He actually started working for us at Ole Miss as a graduate assistant. That had been in 2012, and you just know, when you see young coaches, you just know. He had it, whatever. I always say, whatever it is, he has it. And you knew real quick that he was going to be a really good coach. He left and went to Eastern Illinois. And a couple years later, I came down here. I went to Alabama. Came here after that. We had an opening. He came down here, interviewed, got the job, and immediately turned our defense around from being one of the worst in FBS to a top 20 defense in year one. So he's back and just a great human being, and a hell of a ball coach. And they got it going on right now here at South, and he's done a hell of a job. They got him a good.
So here's how we're going to do this a little bit, Tyler. It's going to be a challenge for you. This is going to require real discipline on your part. When I talk, you can't, and when you talk, I can't, and then we're going to switch back and forth from the settings, and that way we're going to be able. You can mouth right now, but they can't hear you. So when we get to the picking part, when we get to the picks, we'll probably do this like I'm going to let you make your 5 NFL picks. You can talk through them. Then I'll come back, make my 5 NFL picks. We'll talk through them.
We might just want to go with that audio for now. Then when we get to picks, you guys can flip back and forth easier.
Right. That's true. So we're gonna do that that way, and just kind of go from there. And yes, Kenton says put a light. We realized he's dark. Here's the deal: we ordered lights. They're just not in yet. Again, we're just This is an experiment. It's not perfect. If you will send me your address, though, I will make sure that I send you your refund for today's live stream. Send me your address, put it in the live stream chat, and I will send it to you.
Looks great.
That's great. Got that.
Oh, look at that.
Got a little glow.
You are kind of glowing. It's beautiful. All right, so so I always kind of knew. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That's fancy. I always kind of knew Kane was.
I'll turn my hat on back.
I knew Kane was going to be I knew he was going to be a really good coach. First, yeah, it's worse, but yeah. First few times that I interacted with him, I could tell this guy's going to be a coach in the business. He's going to move up. He was obviously very successful at Indiana with Tom Allen, and then this opportunity came up, and I had talked to him, just me and him talking. I knew that this was a job he was interested in. He and his wife had really enjoyed their time in Mobile. It's kind of like I was when Laura and I first got married. We moved to Mobile. We'd been married 2 years.
Yep.
We moved to Mobile, and we were in Mobile for, 9-10 years. And for us, it was this great place. We lived off of Dauphin on Japonica, and we lived in
Midtown, right?
in Midtown. It was this little house that had, we probably had 1,300 square feet maybe, but we were on this house when we still are friends. This is the craziest part. We left that house 20 years ago, and we're still friends with multiple couples that were on that house. I mean, Bailey and Sam Slayton, Patrick and Lucy Ladd, the Careys, all these people that we still are tight with. Fred and Allison Osing, who moved, they're in Mississippi now, down on the coast. We're still tight with all those people because we were all young. We were all starting families at that time. We had all these connections. So I kind of got it. I've always kind of, even though people think that my association with Mobile, the city, is because of what happened at WNSP and stuff, it's really not. When I think about Mobile, I almost kind of get a little sentimental about it because I got my first big journalism job. I know the Birmingham Post-Herald, but it was a dying paper. When I got to Mobile to work at the Register, it was a booming paper. It was thriving. We couldn't believe we were here. And then, all three of our kids were born at Mobile Infirmary. It's a special place to us. And so I got what he was talking about when he talked about, kind of wanting to go back to Mobile and it being cool. And here they are. And what's this, year 2 for him? And they're winning big.
That, there's a saying in coaching is big men lead the way. You do it up front. And when they got here, the offensive line was in really rough shape. We actually were talking about this morning. I don't think you'll mind telling it, but they've done such a good job revamping the offensive line to where I'm talking about where it was a weakness when he got here. They're finalists or semifinalists or whatever it is for the Joe Moore Award, which is given out to the top offensive line in the country. And my man Gordon Steele is coaching those. That's Kevin Steele's son's the offensive line coach here, Gordon Steele, who I've obviously known for a long time, and just good dudes on the staff. And then I can't really talk about South Alabama without mentioning Doug Roos, who was here on staff as an analyst. He's kind of my mentor in coaching. So getting a chance to see him, he was the guy that gave me a shot at 21 years old, coaching tackles and tight ends for him at Northwestern State in Natchitoches, Louisiana. He was the offensive coordinator, worked with him there. We then went to Arkansas State, came back and got with him again when I was the wide receivers coach for him. But he's kind of been, when you're a player, I consider myself a really smart, intelligent player. And I realized my first day in coaching that I didn't know shit. And that's what's so different about coaching. I got my first meeting and realized I didn't know anything. And instead of just throwing me out to the wolves and making me a gopher, which he could have done, really took me under his wing and taught me pretty much everything I know about X's and O's and coaching from a schematic standpoint. I learned from him. And so it's kind of cool, get to back and see him again. We're a lot older now. I was 21 and he was probably my age, and now he's 65 years old. So it's pretty cool.
What is the difference between, because you were at Alabama, you were at Ole Miss. What's the difference between one of those places and a place like South Alabama, Group of 5 job, different job, good facilities but different facilities, different resources? How different are the jobs?
Well, night and day in recruiting, right? So in recruiting, you may recruit at Alabama, you may recruit 50 or 60 kids, right? Well, here you may recruit 560 kids because you gotta. I mean, there's going to be people come and pull them. You know, you can recruit your ass off on a kid and lose him in 10 seconds. You know, kid can be committed to you here, and then you go. Iowa State comes in. I remember Rich Rod. Before I knew Rich Rod came into Mobile. We had Troy Young, a safety from Mobile, committed to us. And, you know, week before sign day, Rich Rod's at Arizona, comes in town. I mean, Arizona to Mobile, and we lost the kid in a week. You know, you spend a year and a half on a kid. That doesn't happen. You know, if you got your talons in, now I say it doesn't happen. The only difference is in the big schools, when the money comes to play, that's like the Power Five coming and taking your kids here. I remember one year at Arkansas State, we lost 4 kids on signing day, 2 to Auburn and 2 to Florida State that had been committed for 6-7 months. On signing day morning, we lost them, and they by a phone call, "Hey, you want to come here?" That's a big difference. Obviously, budgets and all that shit too, but kind of is what it is.
All right, word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. It can be tough to train your brain to stay in problem-solving mode when faced with the challenge in life, but when you learn how to find your own solutions, there's no better feeling. A therapist can help you become a better problem solver, making it easier to accomplish your goals, no matter how big or small. I've used therapy as a way to handle stress, clear negative thoughts, mentally relax a little. It's a life changer for me. Frankly, it increased my happiness. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option for you. It's convenient, it's accessible, it's affordable, it's entirely online. Get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey. Therapy I might need therapy here in like 10 minutes.
I got some therapy going on right now.
Switch therapist anytime. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/MPW today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/MPW. Also brought to you by Walk On Sports Bistro. They put everything they've got into bringing you game day with the taste of Louisiana. Dig into their mouth-watering, made-from-scratch Louisiana cuisine like po' boys, gumbo, voodoo shrimp, plus enjoy fan favorites like juicy burgers, fresh salads, all in front of 70-plus TVs and with 40-plus ice-cold beers on tap. Also, let Walk-Ons take care of all your tailgating needs this season. Inquire today about their family and friends bundles and their tailgate platters. You can order online at walkons.com or on their convenient Walk-Ons app. Visit Walk-Ons in Ridgeland or Oxford today. All right, Tyler, what else you got on your mind here on this lovely Thursday afternoon?
I wanted to talk about this Monday, and we kind of got behind like we always do. A little update at Auburn. They're going to, I think it's imminent that they're about to hire an athletic director. I think they're going, I'm not going to put, do I put you out for saying this? Do you know anything about this? I don't know if I put you out or not.
I know who they're hiring.
Okay. Do I need to not say it?
No, you can say it. We've been saying the name John Hartwell for, yeah, we've been saying John Hartwell for weeks.
I didn't know if you knew something you were supposed to.
No, I mean, I've known, and Jay Tate's talked about this. That's been the hot name. John Hartwell, former Ole Miss assistant AD, now the AD. Former Troy AD, now the AD at Utah State. So,
First of all, I think it's a great.
hold on.
Back and forth.
We're going back and
I
forth
say
with mics. Just
Okay.
If you're talking just like this, just leave it in the Oz.
Okay.
And just let
Gotcha.
them talk. And when we're doing picks, you can flip to your.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, go ahead, Tom.
We good?
Yeah, we're good.
Hey, that's how we do things, baby. But John is a awesome guy. First of all, he's from Mobile. Hartwell is. I've known him for I don't know how long, but I think he's a top 5 AD in the country. I think it's a great hire, and I think it's going to be imminent. I have not talked to John, by the way, so this didn't come from John. Just too many people inside the circle saying the same name, and usually you can put 2 and 2 together.
I knew based on the conversation I had earlier this week that they had hit the stage of the deep background dive.
Yeah.
Like when he was in college, background dive. And when they go that far, they're hiring.
Yeah. But I think they're going to do that. I think they're going to wait for some more time before they make a decision on Harsin. Probably at this point, I think they're even going to wait to the end of the year. Is what I've been told or heard from multiple people. Which, if they're going to make a change, I'd never. And I'm actually, that's something that's semi-smart. Like, why do it? You know what I'm saying? They don't get anything by doing it now. There's no reason to do it now.
Here's the obvious question. John Hartwell has connections to Hugh Freeze. They were in Oxford together. I don't know if John was...
He was here our first year.
Yeah.
Then he left.
Then he left. So he wasn't like a liaison or anything. He wasn't tightly connected to you guys, but he knows Hugh.
Yeah, he was around enough, though. I mean, he was all the time. He was with us.
Do you think this leads to Auburn hiring Hugh Freeze, or do you think this leads to Auburn hiring Jeff Grimes, or do you think this leads to John Hartwell conducting some massive search and hiring his guy? Because look, if he does that, and it's not somebody that the boosters want, we're just rinsing and repeating and changing the characters.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely know there'll be some familiarity there with Freeze, but Grimes is the name that's getting heat and getting a lot of heat.
It's the name that I hear to the point where I'm like, oh, so they've done something. I mean, hey, I'll give you an example. I'm hearing Grimes' name in the same way that back in 2011, I was hearing Hugh Freeze's name. Like, it was the only name that really resonated on the Ole Miss search when you guys were at Arkansas State.
Really? I thought that was late.
No.
Really?
No. That deal was getting done. I mean, there were other, they kept floating other names, but I'm telling you what it was just agent sweetheart deals. Who was the guy that he was at Southern Miss at the time, and he left to go to North Carolina?
Larry Fedora.
Larry Fedora. They were floating Fedora's name, and I think it was for no reason other than to give him a little leverage in his negotiations with whoever else might be out there, because I kept hearing Fedora didn't want the Ole Miss job, but he was going to use it a little bit to kind of maneuver something. Much the same way that I think Mike Norvell's, quote, candidacy at Ole Miss a few years ago when they hired Kiffin, I don't think Norvell and Ole Miss were ever really truly serious with one another. I think Norvell was using that as leverage to get a better what he perceived to be a better deal at a
Keith and them got the lane pretty quick too. You know what I mean? Like they got the lane really quick. Because I mean, I guess I talked to Lane on Thursday. What day did he get announced?
Saturday.
Yeah, I talked to Lane on Thursday.
I broke it on Friday afternoon.
Yeah. So they got to him pretty quick. I mean, he had to have, 2 days negotiation?
They talked to him on the phone for the first time on Tuesday. I think did some sort of a Zoom or whatnot on Wednesday. Keith went there on Thursday or late Wednesday, and it got done despite the efforts of several people in Oxford to stop it from getting done. It got done on Friday afternoon.
Okay.
And Lane coached the conference championship game on Saturday and then flew to Oxford on Sunday.
I talked to him about recruiting, I think, Thursday night. I think was my first conversation with him. I just remember when I got announced. But no, I think that, I mean, Hugh is still in it, obviously. Grimes is the other name that I'm hearing. And like I said, these things take a life of their own. And I don't think they're going to make a change until the new AD gets in place, and then they'll figure out what they're going to do if they're going to make a change. I mean, this is a crazy business, brother.
Hartwell will do a really good job there in terms of he's going to be better at the interacting with people and ADs and boosters and stuff than Alan Green did. And I think Alan's a really good AD. That wasn't a good fit. I think for John, this is a good fit. But now look, let's be real. It's only as good a fit as your football program lets it be. I mean, he's going to get there and stay out of Bruce Pearl's way, and Bruce is going to win in basketball, and they've got a good coach in baseball in Butch Thompson, but none of that stuff matters. None of it matters if you don't win in football. And so it's all going to come down to who gets hired and whether John can help with NIL and all of those things, but you got to hire the right coach and then give him the tools that he needs, and then that coach has to go win. And then if he wins, you're great and everybody loves you. And if he loses, you suck and everybody hates you. It's really that simple.
So I was driving down last night talking to a buddy of mine who played with me at Auburn, and we were talking about all kinds of things. But just the problem, and again, I'll restate it, and he said it the same thing, the problem with Auburn is the guys that want to have their say-so, if you don't listen to them, but those are also the same guys you need from pushing finances situation. So there's this catch-22 with all these candidates that go in there. Do I take the job and listen to them so I can get the money that I need to be successful? But if you push them out, do I have the guys I need behind me to be successful? I don't know. It's a catch-22. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's truly one of those places that they can't get out of their own damn way right now. And hopefully they get Hartwell in there. And Hartwell, if it can be fixed, I'll put it like this. And I'm an Auburn guy. My wife's an Auburn lady. That's where we met. If Hartwell doesn't get it fixed, it's time to start looking in the mirror.
Let me ask you this: is there any chance? Tennessee got criticized when Danny White brought Josh Heupel with him to Tennessee.
Right.
No one's criticizing now.
It's funny how that works, isn't it?
Would he get criticized if he brought Blake Anderson with him eventually?
I don't know. Blake's a good football coach. Blake's won everywhere he's been as a head coach.
Won at Utah. He's not winning this year, but they won Utah State last year.
They won the conference last year. And he's had a tough go personally.
Big time.
I mean,
his wife died of cancer. His son committed suicide. He's had a brutal.
I think his dad died. Right. I mean, it was like
it's been very difficult.
He's had a rough go. But Blake can coach football. I actually was excited when Blake got the job at Arkansas State because you'd had Freeze, which Freeze had a way at Arkansas State that really worked. Then you had Gus come in there, Harsin come in there. They left, and they needed some stability, and that's when Blake got to Arkansas State, and he brought stability, and it was time for a change. He went through everything towards the end, but I mean, would he be received? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's acceptable anymore. Like, there's nothing gonna make him happy. So, I mean, does it even matter at this point? I mean, what would make Auburn happy? Who walks through the door and makes Auburn happy? That's realistic, by the way.
Nick Saban.
Yeah, that's realistic.
That would do it.
Where's the grind at? Who walks the grind? I want to know who walks through the door that's gettable that makes Auburn happy. Because I don't know the answer to this. Because what's the answer?
That stupid cup. How do you get a cup?
I got you a cup right there.
I know. I just didn't. We were over here. We were over here working. We didn't even. I mean, I'm used to not eating. Cole's about to die over
Cole,
here.
y'all's food is right there.
He hadn't even had a lunch. I
bought you lunch. Your lunch is right there. Y'all got cups right there. The cooler's right there.
Unbelievable.
What are y'all doing?
Unbelievable. The abuse that we take.
Well,
is this what it's like at Quick U every day?
It's better.
Okay, that's
I'm
wonderful.
starting to feel like an alcoholic over here when nobody else is partaking.
I thought that was rain.
Oh, it is. It's the new rain. It's
rain total body fuel.
Rain total
300 milligrams of natural caffeine.
But who makes them happy? So.
All right. So what are you expecting this game tonight? A lot of people are going to be watching this game. We've been talking about it a lot. It's a big Sun Belt game. South Alabama's lost one time this season. They lost by 1 point in Pasadena to a UCLA team that goes into Oregon this weekend undefeated.
Yep.
If South wins tonight, is there a path to 11-1?
Absolutely. They'll be favored. They should be favored if they win tonight. They'll be favored. I don't know any game they won't be. They have Old Dominion late. They have Southern Miss late, but they'll be favored in all those games. And the thing, look, South Alabama's good on offense. They're good on defense, and they got good. I mean, they got a good football team. And more importantly, they're young. So he's got a, I don't know what I can share or not. Look, his culture here is impeccable, and that's the thing that stands out to me.
What is it about it that makes it impeccable? What's he done to make the culture so good so quickly?
I think that he has got this unique ability to. He has adjusted, in my opinion, he's adjusted to the new age of kid and able to reach them and motivate them and still have some old school kind of mentality when it comes to the field, but have a new age of treating kids. Like, his kids aren't late. Like, they don't take roll because they're not late.
To meetings, to film,
to the bus. I was joking. I said, what do you do if they're late for the bus? They get their ass left. And they don't. And they have, his accountability, they have an accountability board here. I think this is awesome because I think I've told this story before, but it's kind of how I like to do it. It's probably part of the reason that there's some issues up north here about 3 hours, okay? If you want a really good football team, the players police themselves. And so when they have an accountability problem here, the player who got in trouble watches the other players do the work while he watches. So that creates, the players will police themselves. You go make somebody else run while they watch you run, and you're the one screwed up, it makes life rough. So I just like everything they're doing. And let me tell you my favorite part about this game tonight. I think the points are going to be at a premium, and both teams will choose violence. Okay, there will not be any soft asses out here on this field right behind us. We're about what? About 400 yards from the stadium, you think?
Yeah, that's about
Can I
right.
flip my camera somehow over there to show them? Is that possible?
I mean, you could pick a
You
camera.
could pick your camera up.
You'll be-
Keep in mind that you don't have any slack in that line.
Let's see if it. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me.
All right, while you're
See that? Can I see that? All right, yeah,
you
we're on
can
the
see
delay.
it. You can see it. It's back there.
So, all right, let me reset this thing so you can not about my camera angle. But there's not going to be any soft asses back on that field tonight. They're going to choose violence. Both teams. John will have them fired up. I'm excited, man.
Yeah, I think so. I've got South winning. I think the line's like 3, but I think the line's about right. It's a 3 to 5, 6-point game, close game.
Yeah, I think
fourth quarter game. ESPNU, by the way, if you're watching tonight, so ESPNU.
6:30, ESPNU. We'll be there. Look for the guy, the bald-headed guy. Are you going no hat tonight?
No, I'll get a hat.
All right.
I brought
I'm going quick you. Look for the boys. We'll get quick you on ESPNU tonight. The 2 U's. Rock and roll.
John will
Pay a bill and we'll get some picks.
bill or two here, then we'll get into some picks.
We're always brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits, achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more. Also brought to you by our friends at Clean Side Wipes, the Safer Choice Partner of the Year Award, Enlist approved, kills COVID in 30 seconds. Wish we could have killed COVID in 30 seconds. That would have been awesome. Citric acid base, no harsh chemicals. By the way, I saw YouTube in the event that you're listening. I'd like to once again thank the vaccine providers and the people who distributed the vaccine. You are true American heroes.
This episode brought to you by the Biden administration.
And also Anthony Fauci's the greatest man on earth. Great guy. What a player he would be. Can you imagine how good he'd be out here tonight? Citric acid base, no harsh chemicals, simple, one step, no rinse, cleaning, and disinfecting. Removes film left over by harsh chemicals such as ammonia, bleach, and alcohol. Clean Side has the lowest toxicity rating allowable by the EPA, which means it poses the lowest risk to the health of employees, patients, students, customers, or to the environment. Citric acid-based Clean Side germicidal wipes deliver powerful efficacy against pathogens without the potentially harmful effects of other chemical disinfectants in one easy-to-use wipe. It's great for schools, daycares, nurseries, hospitals, long-term care facilities, office buildings, households, and more. It's available in a ready-to-use spray and also in a wipe, obviously. For quantity size details, learn more to make orders, get in touch with my guy Todd Abbott at Wipes and Gloves. That's WIPES and AND gloves at gmail.com.
All right, so we're doing this microphone pick swap thing.
Yeah, no, so, yeah, we'll just keep doing what we do. I think we're okay. I just, when I know I'm going to talk for 3 minutes, I'm flipping it to mine, so
Okay.
we're good. So, you want to start in the NFL?
Let's start in NFL.
All right.
By the way, this is a very difficult week of picks. Did you actually look at them, or did you do your?
I looked late last night after I finished everything that I was doing, and if I do well in the NFL this week, I'm just destined to do well in the NFL. This is the least amount of research that I've done on any week because I was cramming an extra day of work into 3, and so there was not a lot of time to study picks this week.
Well, look at the bright side. Hey, do I have to worry about you getting hit on the sideline tonight?
No, I mean, if someone hits me, I'm going to hit back.
Okay.
I play defense.
The violence will be had.
I'm going to get the hell out of the way. I'm not going to be one of those people that's like,
You're not gonna do one of these deals where you throw me in front of the action or anything when I'm standing next to you.
if it comes down to me getting hurt or you getting hurt, yeah.
I wouldn't do that to you. I'd take the lick for you.
Okay, I'll let you. I mean, great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. NFL. This is hard for me to do. I'm going to start this off. It's going to be very difficult for me to do this. But you know what, Neil? You ride them until she bucks you, or you don't ride at all. The Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, we're talking football, okay.
I mean, there we go again.
That was you.
I just didn't know what we were talking about.
Hey, can you get my man some heavy rain? Let it over there. He looks a little lonely over there. Seriously, get the man a rain.
Yeah, I've got the ones that aren't his. Yeah.
Yeah, the other kind.
The ones that actually have flavor.
Are you shitting me right now?
No,
Hey, you did get some good stuff though.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the Atlanta Falcons, Neil, are playing our Cincinnati Bengals.
You're not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you ride them to your bucks or you don't ride at all. The Falcons are getting 6 points at Cincinnati. I'm taking the Falcons, the Atlanta Falcons, +6. They're 6-0 against the spread this year. They're 6-0 against the spread this year. I'm taking the Falcons +6 against our Cincinnati Bengals.
Wow. I'm stunned, really. I actually thought about going the other way on that game. There's a part of me that thinks Atlanta right now, because it's covering spreads, is getting overvalued. And
6 is a lot of points in the NFL, though, right?
6 is a lot of points. They're a little beat up in the secondary. The Bengals, I think, are going to score if Taylor will get the hell out of the way on play calling. Speaking of teams that I think are going to score a lot of points this week, Dallas Cowboys get Dak Prescott back. They go against a beat-up Lions team. The Lions struggling, losing some players on defense. They're not anywhere near as good away from Detroit as they are in Detroit. I know it's a big line. I'm laying it anyway. I love Dallas -7 at home against the Detroit Lions.
Well, I'm going to save the suspense for you here, Neil. My second pick, the Detroit Lions, are going to Dallas.
Oh,
They're playing the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They're getting 7 points.
yep.
Guess what, Neil?
It's not enough.
It's not enough. The Dallas Cowboys -7. Look, and this will be the week we screw it up. But you and I, when we agree,
We're 9-0.
we're 9-0. So let's go for an even 10-0. The Dallas Cowboys -7 at home versus the Detroit Lions.
Agreed completely. All right, my second pick. A team that I never picked, but I'm going with them this week. I'm a little nervous about it because it's a divisional rivalry, and I like to stay away from them. But I like this one here. Give me the Tennessee Titans at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Colts nowhere near as good away from home as they are
What a weird series, man.
when they're home. I know it's a weird series, but the line's only 2, so I don't feel weird about it. Titans -2 in Nashville against the Colts. Did you see where Tennessee's going to build a dome, by the way?
$2 billion, I see that right? Where are they going to put it? Does anybody know?
I don't know. I would assume pretty damn close to where it is right now, but
I mean, there's not a lot of land around there.
no. But they've got to keep it downtown so that you can have a Super Bowl. They're doing it to host a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, Nashville's a cool city, man. I mean, that's going to be $2 billion. I see that right?
I think that sounds right.
Yeah, that would be awesome. All right, my third pick, Neil.
Yep.
This is the rat line of all rat lines. Did you take with Mincy?
I have.
All right, he probably, I didn't, obviously it's airing tonight, 7 o'clock on MPW Digital Network. I guarantee you he probably saw this as a rat line. I'd be surprised if he didn't say that. But I'm going to jump right in the trap. The New York Giants are on the road at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Giants are 4-1. The Jaguars are 2-4.
I thought about this game.
The Giants are 3-point underdogs. And I get it's a road game, but it's still the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Giants aren't sexy, but they find a way.
They do.
They find a way.
They do.
So I'm taking the New York Giants +3 in Jacksonville over the Jaguars.
My third pick also involves a team from New York, but it's not the Giants. It's the Jets.
Jets.
The Jets had 2.
Did you see my man Dom here today? The scout for the Jets is here for the game tonight?
I did. Jets head to Denver to play one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Jets are better at quarterback. Jets may have 2 quarterbacks better than what's in Denver.
Ooh.
Give me the Jets plus a point on the road at Denver.
Neil.
Jets, Jets.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You know what my 4th pick is?
I'm going to guess it's the Jets in Denver.
The New York Jets are traveling to Denver.
Yeah.
The Rocky Mountain High. Yeah.
Right.
And guess what? They are underdogs
That's right.
by a point.
By a point.
Have you heard that before?
I was just telling
Oh,
you
you're just
that,
telling
yeah.
that? Guess what, Neil?
It's not enough.
It's too much. Because the Jets are going to blow their ass out.
How about that?
I'm going Jets big.
So far, we're giving the people perhaps
That's two
two
locks.
NFL. We have not talked about this.
Yeah, trust me, we haven't had time to talk about anything because I'm sitting over here eating my burger, drinking my rain, while they were fixing the audio.
All right, so my fourth pick, speaking of riding a team when they get you some wins, teams that get you, Cole's like, oh my God. Teams that give you wins.
How long is the show, Neil?
Not much longer. The Seattle Seahawks head to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. I was watching my guy Justin Herbert last week make some throws. The throws don't look the same.
Look, he's selling them
You know why?
because he's got any ribs left.
Because he's hurt.
Yeah.
It's not because he stopped being a good quarterback. It's because he's hurt. You know who's not hurt? Geno Smith, not hurt. I'm going to get 6 points. They're giving me 6 points.
Hey, I'm going to be nice to you. You got 6.5 today.
6.5 points. Give me the Seahawks and 6.5 in LA against the Chargers.
Grind doesn't. I think as he said, yeah, we'll lose the Jets. Tell me, Grind is a Broncos fan.
He is. He's a Broncos
I think
fan.
he just likes orange and blue. Yeah, Herbert's throw, he's been sailing a little bit. He hadn't been getting. He's not rotating.
Well, he went from having one of the best arms in the NFL.
Well, he's still got his arm, but if
You understand accuracy, everything. I mean,
because he can't rotate.
Right. He didn't quit being a good quarterback in his 20s. He's hurt. He's out there. He probably
Yeah.
shouldn't be playing.
The best way I can describe it to you is you still got to rotate your lower half in your trunk when you're trying to let them rip, especially at that level, because you have to let them rip a lot of times in the tight windows. And it's like a golfer. I don't think you play golf, right? I know you tried, but
I've played a little,
yeah.
but no, not enough.
But if you're on a tee and you're just swinging all arms, sure you can hit it out there. But but if you grip and rip and truly rotate, that's the same kind of thing. He's struggling with that a little bit. But all right, so my fifth pick, the Kansas City Chiefs, are rolling into San Fran. They are 3-point favorites at the 49ers. Guess what, Neil?
What's that, Tyler?
It's not enough. I really like this game, even though they're on the road. Chiefs, they lost last week to Buffalo. They have to win to keep up. It's a must-win. As crazy as that sounds, the Bills are off this week. They can't go into the next week down 2 games to the Bills. So I think it's a must-win for the Chiefs. I think they're going to come out ready to play. I think they knock it out.
All right, my fifth and final NFL pick. Pittsburgh Steelers last week got a win with a rookie quarterback, Kenny Pickett, and they head to Miami this week, and they're getting 7 points. Guess what, Tyler? It's not even close to it.
I like it.
Not even close. The Miami Dolphins are going to kill them. Tua's back. This is a spot for the Dolphins to get a little healthy, to get well. Miami -7 at home. I'm laying two different 7-point lines. I'm laying them both. Dolphins -7 at home against the Steelers.
My man Clay Carter is going to be very disappointed in you. He's a big Steelers fan.
I realize that he is. It's not personal, Clay.
Not personal, Clay. But he's yeah, he won't live. He says he hears me enough at the office. The Steelers are with Kenny Pickett. He's going through concussion protocol. I think that's pretty bold of Thomason to basically say, hey, he's going through protocol, he's going to play. In this world that we're in right now, with Tua passing protocol and still not playing last week, you got 2 different
You
trains.
just pulled a Houston nut.
Which
in
part?
this world that we live in right now.
Was it true or not?
Well, I guess it's true, but it is
That's
the world we
speaking
live
of
in.
facts.
Because we all live in the same world. It's right now, and we live in that world.
I don't deal with soft people. I can't do it. It bothers me.
I was joking with you. I understood.
I
I always used to laugh at nut.
I didn't know
it
it
was
was
always nuts thing in this world we live in.
All right, but the more important part is I gotta figure out how I actually feel decent about my NFL picks. I feel better about 2 of them that we picked the same ones. I'll probably be loading it up. You got your 5th pick. right? Oh, you
Yeah,
did.
that was it,
Steelers.
Miami. So I've got Dallas -7, the Titans -2, the Jets +1, Seattle +6, and Miami -7. Those are my 5 NFL picks.
I got the Falcons +6, Cowboys -7, Giants +3, Jets +1, Chiefs -3.
Yeah, we'll get them all later. We'll get it down.
What'd you say?
He was saying he'll get it later. He thought you wanted to. He was never mind. You're good. All right,
Dude, you're throwing me off over there, man. I only can do so many things.
let's talk college.
Let's do it. You been starting? You want to start?
You start. Get rolling.
All right, here we go. The UCLA Bruins are going in to Oregon, and very difficult place to play on the road. They're really feeling themselves. They are a team that really hasn't played anybody except for our South Alabama Jags. It's probably the toughest team they've played. They're going
Utah.
I'm just being funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. But UCLA is going to Oregon. Oregon is quietly hasn't lost since the first game, and they've been playing well. They're playing at home. They are 6-point favorites over the UCLA Bruins. I'm going Oregon big, making a point at home. Oregon -6 is not even in the vicinity of enough. I think this is a 20-point game.
Wow. Chip Kelly going back to Oregon. It's hard for me to believe that he hasn't gotten the message across to his team that he wants this game badly.
The problem is those kids don't have any connection to it, right? So if it was like, does that make sense? Like if it was like, if the kids at Oregon would be more pissed if the guy left Oregon. It's a weird deal. Like those kids don't care if Chip Kelly coached there before or not. It's not really going to help him as much. It's kind of like when Hugh came back to Oxford. Still got to play football. So I'm taking Oregon. Oregon's going to get after him pretty good.
All right, I'm going to start off in the ACC. Clemson playing host to Syracuse.
I'm all over. I'm so curious right now.
Tigers are giving 13.5 points.
That's correct, Neil.
To the Orange. 13.5.
Did you say the Quick U client?
I did not.
Tigers?
I did not.
Oh, I thought you said that. I'm sorry.
Quick U client Clemson. Giving 13.5 is a big number.
Big number.
You know what? It's a number that I don't think it's big enough. I think Clemson is going to blow the doors off of Syracuse this weekend. I think this is a blowout. I don't know how Syracuse scores.
Ooh.
They're going to have a real difficult time with Clemson's front. And I just think this is a different deal. Now, if you put this game in whatever they call the Carrier Dome now, I might go, hey, the emotion and stuff might keep them in it. Instead, I think they're going to get popped. And I think that Cinderella's slipper breaks, and it's just shattered, and she turns an ankle, and the whole deal, and the whole night just goes straight to hell, and Prince Charming looks at her and goes, nah, I can do better. And she ends up spending the night cleaning floors. This is a bad spot for Syracuse. Give me Clemson. I'll lay 13.5, and I think they blow past the number.
I like it. All right, I got a team that's been doing me pretty good this year. The Purdue Boilermakers are playing the Wisconsin Badgers.
Yep.
I am not even remotely buying in on Wisconsin. They had their moment in the sun. They're 1 week after. They did good for us a couple weeks ago.
They did. And then they got beat.
Then they got beat by my Sparty Spartans, Quick and Fun Sparty Spartans. So Purdue Boilermakers.
For the record, both of these teams tonight are Quick U clients.
Yes, that's also one of the reasons we're here.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. I killed like 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm really excited to go see my man Summerall here in a minute. He's going to be like, what you got, man? What you got? But yeah, both Quick U versus Quick U tonight on ESPN. Purdue is getting
ESPN
2 points.
U.
ESPN U. Purdue is +2 at Wisconsin. I'm taking the Purdue Boilermakers all over Wisconsin. I think this is a 10 to 14 point game, and they're underdogs. Probably not a bad money line play, but just not enough value. So I'm taking Purdue +2. I'm going to catch up and be in a jacket in Boise. I said it.
All right. I can't decide if I like the pick I'm about to make or if I absolutely loathe it.
Ooh.
Going to the Big 12. Oklahoma State playing host to the Texas Longhorns.
What you going to do?
I know. I've gone back and forth on this, but here's the deal. I'm watching all the police
Yeah,
show up. I'm
well, we
trying to figure
got
out who's here.
the players are fixing to go do the, hang on. No, they're not doing it yet.
Okay. Yeah, it's too early for that.
Too early for that.
Oklahoma State has always been good to me. They've won a whole bunch of games. They just lost for the third time in their last 20-something games. There's somebody's bus right there. Bus is showing up behind Tyler here. Another bus. Got to be a team.
Oh, you know what they're doing?
No.
They're going to eat pregame meal.
Oh, gotcha.
I couldn't remember.
Okay.
They're eating pregame meal across the bill. They had a meeting at 2:30. Team meeting at 2:30.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So I just think it's one of those deals where you're going to give me Oklahoma State at home and points. And I realize Texas is good, and Ewers makes them better. And they've been playing better lately. But let's not act like they just blew the doors off Iowa State last week, because they didn't.
Okay.
Give me Oklahoma State at home plus 6.5 points against the Texas Longhorns.
All right. You know what? If I wasn't your friend, I wouldn't tell you this.
Okay.
But I am going to tell you this, and I'm going.
But the quarterback's hurt,
Quarterback's hurt from Oklahoma State.
but he's not that hurt.
Quarterback's hurt from Oklahoma
Are you
State.
saying he's not going to play?
I'm just telling you as a friend.
I mean, I've got backups here.
No, you're more than welcome. If you don't, I just didn't want you to be like, well, you didn't tell
Well,
me.
I knew that he's
And
hurt.
I knew something.
I knew that he's hurt. But now what I've read is that they think he's going to play. Are you telling me he's not going to play?
I'm just telling you he's hurt.
Oklahoma State quick decline?
No. You see, I see you there. And you're like, how much do you really know, big
Yeah,
boy?
I'm asking what you know.
Just how big a fella are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. LSU's a quick decline, though.
I realize that they are.
Just how big a fella are you?
I'm curious to see whether that's on the list here in a minute.
I would like for us to, we'd go down to 0 viewers.
Yeah.
I'm saying that he's hurt.
Yes.
He is going to try to go. Don't know if he's going to be able to go.
Okay.
That's what I know.
All right.
But if you feel comfortable with that, I'm good. I just didn't want you to be
No,
like.
I was aware.
Okay.
I'm aware.
All right.
So we'll keep rolling.
All right. So my next pick.
There'll be a little emotion in Stillwater with Texas coming.
Oh,
back.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toradol's undefeated. I'm good. I'm going Big Ten on you right here.
Well, I'm coming Big Ten next too, so go ahead.
All right. The Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Oh, the Gophers.
The Gophers.
The Gophers. Turn the chillers on. Turn the chillers on. It's getting a little warm out here.
That's actually pretty damn good.
Turn the chillers on. Oh no, the chillers are off. That's why it's so hot. The heat. We got the heaters on. Chillers are off.
They're going to College Station, and they're playing the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Yep.
Penn State got their feelings
Don't
hurt.
take a shower.
What the hell's that mean? Oh my! Are you shitting me right now?
Penn State. Don't shower at Penn State. Be careful.
This episode brought to you by the Biden administration.
Go ahead.
Golly. Man, take me a drink, you know? Let me get a little rain.
Tough place,
Watch
man.
that out. God almighty, son. Mama, sure.
Get to visit the Pennsylvania
Hey,
State Penitentiary like that.
Hey, low key, I always send my mother and dad, they like watching the show, so I always send them the link. Did not. Send the link, no.
That's very smart.
She's going to be like, Tyler, did y'all not have a show today? Nope, did not. Because she will have no idea how to find it. She will have no idea. She will have no idea how to find it. She's like, what is YouTube? All right, so Penn State is hosting Minnesota.
Yes.
They are 4-point favorites. Guess what, Neil?
I don't know.
It's not enough. Penn State big.
Oh,
I like Penn
that.
State big.
Yeah, I think you're right.
They can stop the run. That's about the only thing Minnesota can do. I'm taking the Penn State Nittany Lions. The Fighting Sandusky's.
Well, I'm staying in the Big Ten. My Iowa Hawkeyes playing Ohio State this weekend.
Hey, by the way, that's my man Connor. Connor, how's the office holding up today? That's my man Connor. He's holding down the office today.
That's an interesting place.
Yeah.
Iowa and Ohio State. I don't even know what the line is. But I know what the over-under is.
Okay.
The over-under is 49.5. Iowa actually is really good on defense.
No.
So I think they can hold Ohio State in the low 30s.
Coach, Ohio State may cover the over by themselves.
Well, Iowa's not going to score, so unless Ohio State gets
I'm
to
aware.
50, we're okay.
It's a possibility.
I don't think it is, but I don't think they'll get that far.
Okay.
Give me Iowa, Ohio State under 49.5.
Connor said the office is rocking and rolling.
I bet it is.
Hey Connor, I got some rain for you. You need some rain.
How many rains is he in? It's like 4 rains in.
Yeah.
It's a lot of caffeine.
It's a lot of caffeine. 48 ounces of caffeine. All right, so in about 45 minutes. All right. My last game, Neil, 5th game before we get to the money line. That's right. 1,
It's
2,
your 4th game.
3. This is my 4th game. Oh yeah, it's my 4th game. Dipping my only game into the SEC this week.
Okay. Curious?
I told you what it was going to be Monday. The Texas A&M Aggies.
Oh, yeah.
And how about this? It dropped a half a point. Texas A&M is going. I told Jeff this, and he got pissed at me, but he'll be all right. Texas A&M is going in to Columbia. They're 3-point favorites. It's not even remotely in the vicinity of them. I'm expecting this is like my lock free money of the week. I'm that
Is this your
confident.
college football play of the year?
This is my college football play of the decade.
Oh, my God.
Decade.
The Tyler Siskey College Football Play of the Decade.
Play of the
Here we
decade.
go.
The Texas A&M Aggies are going to destroy South Carolina on Saturday night. I mean, it's going to be a rocking house, and it's just going to give it to A-Chain, and he's going to go poof, poof, poof. They can't stop him. They're bad up front. A&M, quick you clients, all over them. Quick you clients, A&M, lock of the decade.
All right, I'm going back to the well for my 4th pick. Going to the, hell, I don't even know what the league this is. Conference USA, I think. Yeah, it's Conference USA.
I don't care. I don't care, Dave. I don't care. Dave's trying to talk me off the ledge. I don't care, Dave.
It's a Friday night game in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Oh, I like this one, too.
Western Kentucky was good to me last week, and they're going to be good to me again. All I'm being asked to lay down is 1.5 points against the Blazers, and I know the Blazers are good.
Yeah, I can't pick against my guy, Vincent.
UAB's,
together.
UAB's a little better. I mean, Western Kentucky's a little better. Western Kentucky minus 1.5 points versus UAB.
Yeah, they're struggling. UAB's struggling a little bit on the road. Play good at home, but I can't pull against my guy, Vincent, but I did see the line. Yeah, that's a good pick. All right, my 5th game, Neil. Kansas State
Oh,
is going to, is it Fort Worth? Is that where
it's in Fort Worth. Yep.
Playing the TCU Horned Frogs, who are 3.5-point favorites. Guess what, Neil?
What's that?
It's not enough. TCU, I think I was really impressed with those guys last week against Oklahoma State. I've watched them a couple times, but they got down and found a way to come back. They were down 2 scores in the 4th. Dude, I like TCU minus 3.5 against Kansas State. I don't think Kansas State is as good as Oklahoma State, even though Kansas State is a quickie client. But I'm taking TCU minus 3.5 at home against the Kansas State Wildcats.
All right, I'm going to go to the American now. I did an under earlier with Iowa, Ohio State. Let's take an over. I want to balance it out. Like
Okay.
balance.
Look at you with over-unders. You have studied.
Memphis and Tulane square off in New Orleans. I think they're both going to score a bunch of points. They're both going to score a lot of points. Memphis is going to lose the game, but I think they'll score a lot of points against Tulane. Tulane scores points. That's what they do. Give me the over 56.5. Tigers in the Greenway.
That's not a bad bet. That's a good bet. I like that. That's good.
Money line time.
You know what time it is, Neil? Money line time. All right. I'm going to have fun tonight, Neil. I will have Neil having fun on the sideline tonight. Here we go. I hope we didn't pick the same one.
I'm positive we did not, because the 2 that I've got down are 2 that you've already shot.
Okay. I like these. I went for value today. I actually have 3 games I liked, so I came to this one because I think it has the best chance. The Kansas Jayhawks
Oh,
are
at
going
Baylor.
to Waco
Yeah.
and playing Baylor, and they are plus 240 at Baylor. Kansas, look, I know they had quarterback issues and all that stuff with injuries.
Yeah, the quarterback's out for the year.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the next guy banged up a little bit, but they still scored a ton of points.
Yeah.
Didn't like they just shut down.
Right.
Baylor doesn't score well, and their quarterback is out. Just so everybody knows. Is that out there yet? Shapen's not going to play?
I haven't seen that.
Okay. Shapen's not going to play. Breaking news.
You're breaking all sorts of news today. You
That's what happens when you get the old
This
rain
radio thing
ready.
is good for you.
Yeah, The Kansas
Is
Jayhawks.
Baylor a quick U client?
No. I do have Big 12 quick U clients though.
It's Kansas State?
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. Oklahoma, Kansas State. Who else? Big 12. I think I said Big 12.
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Yeah.
Matt Campbell. That's right. You like Matt Campbell.
I do. Good
Yeah.
dude. Kansas State plus 240 at Baylor. I think they're going, Baylor's offense, I just think they outscore them. I think it's a high scoring game. At plus 240, I'm all over it. Oh, somebody's trying to give me plus 280 right there. But I got it at plus 240, that's what I got it at, so I'll play fair. Plus 240. Matter of fact, I won't play fair yet. I'm going to look it up, make sure it's still plus 240. Because I need all the units I can get. Is this a big one? Hey, remind me before we get out of here, I need to say one more thing. Son of a bitch. Hang on. All right, where you at, Kansas? Is Baylor not ranked?
No, Baylor's not ranked.
How about that? Were they ranked? Did they just fall out?
Well, they were ranked, but what happens, they did
When you
this thing
lose?
called losing games.
Is that what happens?
And usually you fall when you lose.
All right, here we go. Kansas. Hey, look, plus 278 just for the Road to Boise committee on the other side.
Okay?
Plus 278 the Kansas Jayhawks.
You're going to hate my money line.
Are you picking against a quick U client?
What Pac-12 quick U clients do
No,
you
you're
have?
good.
Yes.
Is he?
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay. Oregon's a client? How about that?
No, it's not.
Oregon's not?
No.
I mean, no.
You should ask the
Hey,
guy.
Oregon, if you are looking for some help, Quick U.
Yeah.
QuickQ.com. UCLA, same to you because you're about to like me. I
Ooh.
think UCLA changes the narrative a little this weekend. They've been playing well, they've been scoring
You
points.
know how hard it is to go in there and win, though?
I do. But they're going in there with a fifth-year quarterback, the coach who coached there, the team that's playing better. I thought their win over Utah showed something. And yeah, they're going on the road. I get it. It's going to be hard. But it's plus 195. And to me, that's value. So I'm going to give it a shot. UCLA money line at Oregon. The Bruins jump into the title conversation.
All right, so
I hadn't gotten one of these right yet. So, I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
going
you have.
I got one right.
you got two right.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
All right, selfishly, for my South Alabama Jags, I do hope they win. I'll give up my loss and give because it would really look good from a man, Kane Womack and the Jags, the better UCLA does. So, I'm with you there. The other games I liked. That's it. Let me go. I got Oregon -6, Purdue +2, Penn State -4, Texas A&M -3, TCU -3.5, Purdue's +2 by the way, and Kansas +240.
My other game that I even thought about was the Kansas State money line. I think there's a decent chance Kansas State goes to Fort Worth and wins.
Ooh.
So we disagreed on some college games, which is typical.
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
We big time agree on a couple of NFL games, so that might be where the value is for our listeners and viewers.
I'm trying. Will you pull up the MMA card for me?
Yes.
I know you're a big MMA fan,
I love it. I watch it every single day.
and I know you'll be tuning in at about 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon to watch it.
I will. I'm going to turn it on.
the press box?
It'll be first
On
quarter
your
in
phone?
Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, actually, I'll have it on one of my TVs. The best MMA card in the history of MMA.
Really?
Yeah, it really is. No, I'm kidding.
Okay,
aside.
seriously.
Yeah, seriously. Oliveira and Islam are the main event. They're like two of the best. Like, they can't. It's a huge card. I can't find it on my phone. It's probably user error, I'd imagine.
So here's going
I got you. Boss. So you got Islam and almost main card. They don't really care about that. Yeah, you got Islam and Oliveira, and then you got another title fight with Dillashaw and Aljamain Sterling, which is really good. And then you got Sugar Shane O'Malley, which is
I've heard of
I
him.
say Shane all the time. That's just Sugar Shane's
Sugar
boxer.
Sean, right?
Shane Mosley. Sean, I say Shane because the boxer. You said what's his name the other day when you were talking about the boxer the other day.
Hopkins. Yeah.
Yeah, Bernard. But Sean O'Malley and Peter Yan, going to be a great fight. And so you really got any of those three fights could lead a pay-per-view by itself. And so, but you got three of them, and they're in Abu Dhabi. So this is going to be So it's going to be the
Was
main.
it the Simpsons that always did stuff at Abu Dhabi?
Hey, do you ever buy into like the Simpsons? You ever see
He
like
just
when
said
they
he's never seen the Simpsons.
leave? Are you shitting me right now? You've never watched an episode of The Simpsons?
Wow.
That's the most un-American thing you've ever said in your life.
What's your favorite one of those shows?
I don't know. I just watched them as a kid. I don't have like.
No.
a
I
particular
mean,
episode.
do you like The Simpsons, American Dad,
Oh,
Family Guy?
I never really
Family
got.
Guy's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
My son and I bond on Family Guy.
all right. I watched The Simpsons growing up.
Sure.
All right. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what's really good. Like I got into was my kids were getting older, or my kids were kids. I guess I gotta get Knox to watch it. But I would sit down and watch every episode. Was Phineas and Ferb? You ever watch those guys?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that shit's funny. It makes me laugh. But no, I'm a big MMA fan because I choose violence. But any of those three fights could head a pay-per-view, and then it's Abu Dhabi. So I'm kind of interested in the crowd because, they went over there and created Fight Island during COVID because that's who would let them fight. And so now that they built this massive, because that's how they do things over there. They built this massive arena, so it's going to be packed out first time. And I mean, ticket prices, I couldn't even imagine over there how expensive that would be.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm excited.
I'm interested now.
I'll have it on one of the TVs on there. And then, what do you think about your Rebels going into Baton Rouge this weekend?
My Rebels.
Yeah. Like how I snuck out in there?
That's funny. I think it's got a chance to be a really, really close game. If I'm Ole Miss, I'm a little concerned about this. I'll give you my two concerns for both teams.
All right.
If I'm Ole Miss, I'm concerned that I don't have the wide receivers that allow me to take advantage of what is a subpar LSU secondary. LSU normally has great studs in their secondary, and they don't this year.
Correct.
Their secondary is vulnerable. If I'm Ole Miss, I'm concerned that I don't have that speed guy who can take advantage of it. Okay?
Yep.
That's one. If I'm Ole Miss, I'm also concerned that if I couldn't contain Robbie Ashford better than I did, I'm going to have a hard time containing Jaden Daniels. And if Jaden Daniels gets time and moves around, they've got receivers who can take advantage of extended plays.
Yep.
Now, I am curious to see, because Ole Miss has had these two corners, Prince and Igbinosun, who haven't been picked on this year. LSU obviously is going to have to try, because LSU doesn't have Tank Bigsby and Jarquez Hunter.
They got
back
bigger
there.
bodies at receiver than Ole Miss has seen too this year.
Yeah. So I'm fascinated by that. And then on the other side, if I'm LSU, I'm worried about my matchup in special teams.
There you go.
Because Ole Miss
Is anybody talking about this week?
No. Ole Miss is really good in special teams.
Dude.
LSU has been abysmal in special teams. And so if I'm LSU, I'm worried about that. And then if I'm LSU, the other thing that I'm worried about is the obvious, right? It's one thing to say you're going to take away the run. It's another thing to take away the run. And they want to take away the run, put the game in Jackson Dart's hands. They don't think he can beat them. And if you're Ole Miss, you're like, okay, it's cool, but we're going to make you stop us first. And nobody really has. Kentucky kind of did. LSU's got to do it too.
Vandy probably did as good a job as anybody, right?
For a little while.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
then-
early in the game.
And then it went to hell.
Yeah, early in the game.
And Vanderbilt did that thing, though, where they completely stacked the box.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, plays were open, and you saw Ole Miss had, 3 one-play drives? That was a crazy game. So
I think you and I could have scored on those Premier League.
I think this is going to be a really good game. I do. I think it's got a chance to be one of those games that's back and forth. I think it's got a chance to turn into a track meet. I think there's a lot there.
You like the over, huh?
I do. I like the over. And I'm just going to say this to the Ole Miss people. I've been saying this for a while. I keep getting these people that act like it's a litmus test for the program.
No.
And it's not. It's a road game in the SEC against a good team. I think if you flipped the schedules, if Ole Miss had played LSU's schedule and LSU had played Ole Miss's schedule, the records might be flipped. I think Vegas has this as a 1-point game,
Yeah,
a 1.5
1 or 2,
point
somewhere
game.
there, yeah.
Computers have this as an absolute coin toss. I kind of think they're right. I think this is going to be a really close fourth quarter, weird game. And sometimes weird games work in Tiger Stadium benefit LSU, and I've seen weird games not benefit LSU.
We won a game in there. I've been a part of both of those. I was a part of Ole Miss in 12. That one of the, you know how you got, like, I don't remember wins a lot.
Yeah.
I remember the losses that hurt.
Yeah.
In my career, one of the losses that hurt me probably the most, and definitely while I was at Ole Miss, that's hurt me the most, even the one besides the one that got us fired. 12 in Baton Rouge when Odell Beckham with 88-yard, and then Denzel gets to roughing the passer on 3rd and 18. We're off the field. Game's over with.
Yeah, you guys had that game in.
That was a big game, you know, and everything turned out fine, and everything was great. And as my man Dan Werner said, hey, let's go 6-6, go 7-5 next year, go 8-4, and get the hell out of here. But that one hurt. That one hurt probably more than any game at Ole Miss. Of course, kick 6 has the scar of all scars. I still got scars from that. But at Ole Miss, the one loss that hurts the most for me personally is that game. And then on the flip side, went in there in 14 with Alabama.
Lost in 14.
No, with Alabama.
Yeah.
And the year we went to the playoff, and T.J. Yeldon fumbles at the -3, and they run the clock down and score, and we had to score a touchdown to tie it, and we had no timeouts left, and we drove like 93 yards or something with like 40 seconds and tied the game, and went overtime with 1.
I remember that.
So that was a big win. So I've been on both sides of it down there, but the second craziest walk to a press box in college football for a coach. It's bad. It's rough.
I told Carson, my son, I was hoping he could come down with me, but he can't. He would miss too much practice, and it's
been fun.
It's been a week, but I've told him that I would have loved. At some point, I need to take him to a game at Tiger Stadium because
We'll get you hooked up.
It's one of those places that, and I'm not an LSU fan. I mean, my grandfather, who died when I was.
Yeah, you probably got a ton of family, right? They're LSU fans.
Not a lot.
Really?
No, not a lot. 'Cause we grew up in North Louisiana. My grandfather, my mother's father, was a big LSU fan, but he passed away when I was 4 years old or so. I've got a little stuffed football that he gave me that I still kind of cherish. I don't kind of cherish. I cherish it. But I always grew up kind of cheering against them. You know, both of my parents have degrees from Alabama, and so I grew up an Alabama fan, and I cheered against LSU. But the first time that I went down there, I remember thinking, wow, this place is awesome. Because it's kind of mythical a little bit. And you go down there, and it's a great place to watch a game. Their pregame is so cool. And they used to, I don't think they do it anymore because now I think it'd be viewed as inhumane. And the people protesting the ethical treatment of tigers would protest or whatever. But they used to bring the tiger.
No, they still do.
See, I've been told they don't. Whatever.
No, it's outside the visiting locker room.
They bring the tiger around, and the Golden Girls and the cheerleaders or whatever sit on top of the thing.
Oh, no, they don't do that anymore.
And they bring it around, and they put a microphone in his thing and get him to roar.
Whose job is that?
Oh, it's badass though. And the tiger would roar, and you're like, this is awesome.
You ever see those guys playing with like crocodiles and stuff, and just trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with them as a kid, like who abused them as children?
Yeah, something's wrong. Yeah. But I love it. It's a great place to go to a game. I love the sight lines from the press box, the whole deal.
Like the ride in on the bus, freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, grandmother's flicking you off.
It's great.
It's awesome.
I love everything about it. So I'm excited about it. I always kind of get excited about LSU games. So it'll be a lot of fun.
I got a lot of calls in my comments about Alabama on Monday.
Really?
I did.
People upset at you or
No.
agree with you?
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
Don't have anything else to say about that. But it's true. I mean, they're playing state. You're gonna know.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna know what the deal is. They got to step up, and the person who called me agreed with me that there's been 15 years of an organization of a standard set, and even if that you're gone, like I've been gone for 8 years now, 7 years.
Ron with Vic?
No, I did not talk to Nick.
Okay.
No, did not talk to Nick. Shit, Nick ain't talking about this week. Nick, Miss Terry's the only one, and Linda the only two people probably talk to Nick this week. But there's a standard that's been set there, and even if it was a former somebody that coached there with me when I was there, but you feel like you actually have like when you go there, there's so much turnover, right, in players and coaches, but there's a standard set that you have to maintain and do your part of, and it pisses you off a little bit when that standard, when new people come in, they don't uphold it. Like, this is not about winning or losing, right? This is about playing winning football. Not about winning and losing.
I'll say this: if I were picking SEC games in this competition, Alabama minus whatever the hell it is would have been one of my picks.
I would normally say yes. I want to see it before I believe it.
Okay.
It pisses you off a little bit that people go in there and give a lot to that place to uphold the standard, and new people come in there and don't uphold the same standard.
I've watched that at ULM when the water ski team.
When they gotta get their shit, they got to get the wax right on their skis, or
Get the skis right.
I mean, something's
Get
wrong.
the skis right.
So, but
Don't drop a ski. Just get up on one and do it the right way. And when you hit the ramp right. Hit the ramp.
did you ever go watch them do that?
I've seen them. Yeah.
Or are you just making that shit
No,
up?
I've seen it.
You're full of shit.
I'm not.
You did not watch that.
I'm a proud ULM graduate. We've won like 20-something national championships in water skiing. Yeah, everybody goes to watch them on the Great Bayou de Cedar.
Bayou this year.
All right, we're done.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to
I
crack
can
up
tell.
another rain.
So
Yeah.
you want to talk about something before we got out?
Oh, you wanted to talk about
So I
something?
was going to do MMA.
Oh, MMA.
We're good.
Okay, so we're good.
What's up? We got Gabe. We got the recruiting staff trying to peek in. Come on in.
We got things happening.
You got anything you want to say to the people of the world?
How we doing, guys?
We're live. You want to go? You want to come say anything to anybody?
Go Jags, man. Good
There you go.
game tonight.
What's the score going to be? You're live, by the way.
24-6.
24-6.
24-6. You heard it here first.
Bulletin board material.
All right. All right, that does it for this edition of McCready and Siskey. We do apologize for some of the technical stuff, except we got to figure it out. We're going to do
Not
some
really.
different things, and so we learned a lot. We learned a lot today. So we will take that. We'll watch this film. We'll carry it into the next game, and we will be better for it.
Hey, this flavor of rain, Bob, is unbelievable.
You like that? All right, for Tyler Siskey, for Cole Catalano, I'm Neil McCready. Stay tuned, 4 o'clock, Pete's Pigskin Preview here on MPW Digital. He'll get you ready for LSU and Ole Miss. And 6 o'clock, it's the Butcher versus the Spin Instructor. Greg Jones, Campbell, McCready make their picks for the week. And then at 7 o'clock, I will be hosting Hand Raise Guys. It's pre-recorded, as you might imagine.
You don't want to do anything from the sideline?
Ryan Brown will join. Ryan Brown will join. So will Matt Moscona.
Hey, you want to call in? Is he taking calls?
No.
Oh, he's not.
It's all pre-recorded. Ryan Brown, Matt Moscona, and our buddy Ben Mintz, as always, will join. So 3 guests will visit with me on Hand Raise Guys, presented by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Again, our thanks to the people at Rain Total Body Fuel for making this show possible. We'll be back Monday with another edition of McCready and Siskey. Until then, take care.